Hello everybody, this is Tyler here once again from the Character Workshop, and I did say a little while ago that I was going to do this kind of video, but this is an updated version of my very old Angry Birds Mania history video that I did 6 years ago. So this video is going to cover everything that the previous one covered, as well as, you know, new stuff that's happened since 2012 for Angry Birds Mania. So yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy this video. So first things first, when it started at all, before Angry Birds Mania became what it is now, it was originally going to be a series called Ask the Angry Birds, where the Angry Birds, of course, answer questions from viewers. So that was the premise of it, which was, of course, a premise I later incorporated into the TCW Q&A series. So there's that. But, of course, it only lasted like about 5 episodes or so, and, of course, nowadays you can't even find those videos, so those are lost forever. I had to remove them because somebody commented on my channel saying, "Oh, you know, you stole my series. You know, I have a series called Ask the Angry Birds. You should remove yours." So I had to remove them because of that. So I had a different idea for an Angry Birds YouTube series because, well, I was a big fan of Angry Birds back in 2011, and, you know, a lot of other people were too, because the game was, you know, growing in popularity with, like, you know, sequels like Angry Birds Seasons, Angry Birds Rio, and merchandising. So I wanted to do something else. Something else with Angry Birds. So I was thinking, you know, I like Super Mario Logan's Black Yoshi and the Bird series, as well as this is, of course, around the time when I got interested in Snow Dodger 1. So he and Super Mario Logan were my two main inspirations for making Angry Birds Mania. So Angry Birds Mania is pretty much just very similar to, you know, my TCW series. Just, you know, the Angry Birds doing random, funny, humorous storylines, you know, different scenarios here and there. So that's how Angry Birds Mania came to be. And the characters on Angry Birds Mania, like the first episode introduced Tonto, George, Jose, Leroy, Henry, and Green Pig number 1. I didn't have Green Pig number 2 at the time, so it was just Green Pig number 1 as the main bad guy of the series. And he was only the main bad guy for like a couple episodes until King Pig and Helma Pig were introduced in episode 6. And, you know, during the first 4 episodes, like, the Angry Birds weren't even, like, referred to by their by the names I have for them now. Like, they were just referred to, you know, as Red Bird, Yellow Bird, Black Bird, that kind of stuff. It wasn't until episode 5 when I decided to give the birds actual names. And if you're wondering where I got the names of all these characters, back then I used to actually play with my Angry Birds plushes with my grandpa, so that's kind of where I got the inspiration for some of these names. You know, Tonto, Leroy, Jose. Yeah, me and my grandpa thought of those names, so that's why the 5 original Angry Birds Mania characters have their names, and that's why I, in later seasons, decided to give other characters names too. So that's why. Just letting you guys know. Excuse me one moment. Sorry, just had to... Never mind. Anyways. So yeah, so as the series went on, there was like more characters introduced, like Mustache Pig was first in episode 7. Archie and Big Bird Tonto were introduced around episode 10, which was pretty much like an Angry Birds Mania version of Rovio's Summer Picnic animation video. In case you guys haven't noticed, if you guys already saw that episode. So yeah, first season, not super popular, but I mean, it did get attention of arguably my very first Angry Birds Mania fan, and that was XGO Cool X. Although nowadays he's probably referred to as something else. I don't know. But yeah, he was the very first fan of Angry Birds Mania. He was a fan of the videos for about a year. The last time I really heard from him was around 2012 or whatever, when he did a video congratulating me on 100 subscribers. It's not on there anymore, unfortunately, so you can't watch it. So yeah, Angry Birds Mania, slow start, but it was getting up there because, Angry Birds in general was a big thing back in, the early 2010s. And so, around season 2, I introduced, other characters, like the Mighty Eagle, Tonto, Big Red Tonto and Henry finally have, wives. The pigs have, increased with, Green Pig number 2 and Monster Pig. And yeah, season 2 and season 3 arguably is when I, started getting, a little bit more attention with, Angry Birds Mania. I've been getting new fans, every so often with, new episodes, so my videos were starting to get a lot popular. At least my Angry Birds Mania videos were starting to get very popular, the more I did them. And one particular episode, which nowadays is the most popular episode of Angry Birds Mania, it's Angry Birds versus Annoying Orange. That video was kind of like, what do you call it? I guess a promotion for, the premiere of the Cartoon Network Annoying Orange TV show, which, I wasn't interested in for very long, so yeah, but to this day, it's still my most popular episode. Has about 14,000 views the last time I checked. And that video, also in particular, was what got the Snowdodger 1 to want to do a movie with me, so he commented on the video saying, oh, we should make a movie together, and I'm like, holy crap, yes! Because Snowdodger 1, of course, was one of my favorite plush YouTubers at the time. He still kind of is today, but unfortunately he's not doing stuff anymore, so that's a little unfortunate. So yeah, around June 2012, me and Snowdodger 1 worked on Snowdodger Workshop, which was going to be a crossover between Angry Birds Mania and Snowdodger 1's Angry Birds plush videos. Unfortunately, it only had 2 parts, and nothing else has came out with it. A year later, in 2013, Snowdodger 1 announced that, he canceled Snowdodger Workshop, which, it disappointed me, quite a lot, because, I, first of all, I wanted the thing to, be complete, it's kind of kind of weird that there's, a 2-part unfinished movie on his channel, even though the thing hasn't been finished, but I'm not gonna complain. At least I did something with him in general, that's all I'm happy about. Excuse me. So, yeah. Later on, as the series went forward, during my TCW Q&A series, the original Q&A series, one of my more well-known fans, Pink Star Evie 16, or back then as she was known, Kate the Bonsley 84, she had a lot of episode ideas. She was probably, arguably, considered the biggest Angry Birds Mania fan at the time, because she made a lot of fan characters and a lot of fan stories, and a good amount of them have later been made into, actual episodes. Because, in my opinion, a good amount of them seemed interesting. Although, due to the subject of, a couple of, her fan-made ideas, I had to, cut some parts out to, make it, more, comedy themed, because that's kind of what Angry Birds Mania is about, is, comedy. So, yep, that was, between 2013 and 2014, so that's kind of when that, part of Angry Birds Mania was a huge thing. So yeah, and because of that, that's why, you hear characters like George and Daniel mention that they have girlfriends, is because, well, Pink Star EV16 made fan characters of, George and Daniel having, girlfriends. So, yeah, so that's arguably a bit of information about, Angry Birds Mania's biggest fan, at least, originally biggest fan. She's not really that much into my videos anymore, at least, I assume. But Yeah, I wouldn't blame her since, Angry Birds in general is pretty much, a dying franchise. And speaking of dying, in 2015, I decided to end the original Angry Birds Mania series, and because of that, I made Angry Birds Mania 2, which was made to promote Angry Birds 2, which, Rovio made at the time. So, Angry Birds 2 came out exactly 4 years after the original Angry Birds Mania, and that was August 6, 2015. And Angry Birds Mania 2 only lasted like 2 seasons. I wasn't really that much interested in Angry Birds Mania 2, so I canceled it after 2 seasons, so yeah. So there's that, and Angry Birds Mania in general was like, pretty empty for about a year and a half until I brought it back recently in earlier this month. So yeah, Angry Birds Mania is back, at least for 2 more seasons. If these 2 new seasons turn out really well, I will make more in the future, but only the future will know. Who knows what other stuff is coming from Angry Birds Mania. And also, I want to put this out before I end the video. Another one of my fans, Mr. Feather 130 or Mr. Feather 130, however you pronounce it. 4 years ago, he made his own version of my Angry Birds Mania history video. Like, he decided to, himself just talk about, some of the stuff that happened with my Angry Birds Mania series, and, he was another big fan of my videos. So, yeah, I've had a lot of fans, within, the past, 7 years that Angry Birds Mania has been around, and, a good amount of them have really caught my attention because, they're pretty big fans of mine. They're dedicated to my stuff, and I really appreciate that. So thank you to my 3. I can think of a few main fans off the top of my head that really caught my attention. Really gained my respect for them. First one, of course, as I mentioned earlier, Pink Star EV16. Mr. Feather 130, and then another one I haven't mentioned in this video, Anna the Wonder Girl 01. She was another early fan of Angry Birds Mania. Is also another fan that hasn't been in my videos, or not been in my videos, but hasn't commented on my videos in a while. But yeah, she was another early fan of my series. She made her own Angry Birds series as kind of an inspiration from my series called Angry Birds Venturings. So yeah, I did not realize, I don't even have 900 subs yet, and I'm surprised my series has kind of left, not a high legacy, not Michael Jackson levels of legacy, but quite a decent legacy, and I really appreciate it. I'm glad, hundreds, almost thousands of people enjoy my content, and I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate each and every one of you watching my Angry Birds Mania videos back then and even now, and hopefully will so in the future. So thank you, everybody, for keeping Angry Birds Mania alive and making me, of course, want to do more with the show, because I personally like doing the show myself, and I'm glad you guys like watching the show. So thank you. I know I've said this way too many times, but thank you, everybody. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say in this history video. Nothing super exciting. One thing I also forgot to mention, Angry Birds Mania also had 2 movies. One was Angry Birds Mania the movie, which, came out early 2012. And then there was another one, Angry Birds Space Mania, which came out in 2013 to kind of promote Angry Birds Space, even though it was a year and a half after Angry Birds Space premiered. But yeah, those are 2 other things I wanted to mention to you guys about the series. Nothing really else I can think of. If you guys know anything about my series and you want to mention it to everybody else, feel free to comment down below. But, yeah, or you could do what Mr. Feather did 4 years ago and just, just spread, I guess, information about, the history of Angry Birds Mania, if you guys want. So, yeah. That's about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this updated Angry Birds Mania history video. Stay tuned for other videos to come on this channel. The TCW's Puppets finale is coming out this Saturday. I already got it finished. It'll come out this Saturday. Hopefully you guys look forward to that. And this is Tyler from the Character Workshop channel signing out.